Hello everyone, this is Professor Savita Madhukar Kolhapur from Department of English, PDVP College, Tasgaon. My dear friends, today we are going to deal with one module from Language and Linguistics. Actually, this module is for semester 6 and module number is 8. And the title of this module is Basic and Derived Structure. Actually, this is very important topic. If we understand this, then we can construct our own sentences by applying some rules. So what is this topic? That is basic and derived structure. So let's see one by one. What is meant by basic structure? What is meant by derived structure? We will try to understand it. But if you are new over here, please subscribe this channel and even press the bell icon so that you can get notification of all these lectures. Let's start. See, this is basic structure. What is meant by basic structure? Actually, basic structures are very simple sentences and even they have clarity in meaning. For example, you can see here that they have clarity in meaning, means they have clear meaning and direct meaning. And even, see, this is very important point, this is foundation, means basic structure or basic structures are foundation of all English grammar. Why we are saying like this, that this is foundation? Because if you don't have any basic structure, then you can't derive any other structure. Then what is derived structure? We will see in next slide. But here we need to understand what is meant by basic structure and why we need these structures. Because these are the foundation, or we can say base, of all English grammar. Here, next point, why we are used to make positive statements. Means basic structures are used just for the sake of making positive statements. If there is negative statement, that can be derived structure. Only positive and simple statements are here in basic structure. For example, see, what is the structure of this basic structure? See, only subject, then verb, and then object. You can see here, subject, verb, and object. This is very simple order and straightforward order of basic structure. Means every basic structure you can find in this structure format. For example, here I have taken 3 examples. See, first one is I eat food. We will just check the order or structure of this sentence. See, here eat is an action word. That's why it is verb. And before that verb, there is I. I is a subject. What is meant by subject? Subjects are the nouns or pronouns which can do that action. Means here that this eat is an action and the I, who is going to eat, then we will say I, and that's why that is subject. So before that verb there is subject, and then next word there is, that is food. Food means what? Anna we can call it. So see, what is here? The food is object. Then what is meant by object? How can we identify object? See, object is the noun or pronoun we can say on which that action takes place, and that's why we call it an object. So here this food is an object and it came after this verb. And again you will find here the same order, that is subject, verb, and object. Again in next example also you can see here reads and is an action word, means that is verb. Before that, who is going to read or who reads that book? That is she, and that's why again this is subject. And on which object that action is going to take place? That is book, and that's why this book is an object. So again you will find the same order, that is subject, verb, and object. But here you can see that objects are optional. Means even sentence can be like this, that I work, only subject and verb. Objects are optional. If there is need, then you can use. Otherwise, you can just construct some sentence with subject and verb. These two parts are compulsory and this subject is optional. Okay? So this is what basic structure is. Now let's see what is meant by derived structure. Let's see what is meant by derived structure. As per the name itself, we can understand derived means formed, okay? And these are the structures we form by applying some transformation rules to the basic rule or basic structure. Here, see, derived structures are formed from basic structures, As I earlier said, that basic structures are foundation of whole English grammar. Means if you want any derived structure, you must have that basic structure there. If you don't have basic structure, then you can't derive any other structure. That's why derived structures are formed from basic structure. Next point is here, they are created by modifying basic sentence. Means if you want any derived structure, you have to modify whatever basic structure is there. So we are modifying. How we are going to modify, we will see in next slides. Okay, so let's see. Next, helping verbs are used for transformation. We are getting derived structure or we are deriving new structures. It does mean what? We are transforming basic structure to derived structure. But for this sake, what we are going to use? We are using these helping verbs. Okay, we are using helping verbs. Now next point is there, we are using these helping verbs to form negative sentence or questions. Some other structures are also there. For that we are using helping verbs. Now what type of structures are here? Let's see one by one. Only examples I have given here. Negative sentences. Means any kind of negative sentence is a type of derived structure. Next one is here, and that is C. Question sentences. Means if there is yes no type question, or we can say WH question. Those questions are the types of derived structure. Again, passive voice is there. If there is any passive voice, that is also derived structure. Even fronting is there, postponing is there. Lots of derived structures are there. We will see in next slide. For example, some examples I have taken here. Earlier in basic structure, I had given you one sentence that was, I think, yes, I eat food. This was the basic structure because here subject, verb and object is here. So this is basic structure. But here see what I have done here. I have used helping verb to form derived structure. Here subject is here, again helping verb and negation is here. Means I have used not. Means here is negation and then verb and then object. It does mean what? I have created one derived structure. Means I have changed the order. I have used some helping verbs. I have used not here to form negative sentence, and that's why this is derived structure. One more sentence here I have used, that is, do you eat food? See, if I use basic structure, that is, see, you eat food. This is basic structure and the structure is see, yes, we and O. That's why this is basic structure. But if I want derived structure, what I have used here helping verb, and that is do. To form question, do you eat food? So it indicates question. You will answer like yes or no. That's why it is yes no type question. So yes no type question is also type of derived structure. And last one is food is eaten by me. The same sentence is here, I eat food. This is basic structure and this is in active voice. If I change the focus that food is eaten by me, means I have focused on this food. Okay, so that word, if I want to focus food, then I will use that passive structure. What is passive structure? Then how can we change the focus? We will see in next lecture. But see, just try to understand that what is difference between basic structure and derived structure. Here you can get clear difference that what is meant by basic structure and what is meant by derived structure. Basic structures are in just basic format, that is subject, verb and object. But in derived structure, we are going to apply some transformation rules like not, or even we can say yes no type question or WH question. So here we are going to form some sentences by applying some transformative rules, and then we are getting here that derived structures. So this is the basic difference between that basic structures and derived structures. Now let's see why we need these basic structures. What is purpose behind getting these derived structures? Let's see. First purpose is here, and that is to give emphasis. Means to emphasize something. If I want to focus something, then I have to change the structure. In basic structure, we are just going to focus on subject. But if I want to focus on object, then what I will do? I will use passive voice. If I want to if I want to focus on particular element of that sentence, then I have to use some derived structure. That is the basic purpose of this derived structure. Next purpose is here, and that is to highlight specific information. Means suppose from that basic structure I want to just focus adverb, then I have to use derived structure. Okay. The next use is here, that is for stylistic variation. Suppose every time if I am using only basic structure, then that will be boring. So if I want to make it interesting, if I want to use different style, then what I will use? I will use these basic structures, not basic structures, derived structures. Okay. And last purpose is here, that is for clarity in communication. If I want clarity in communication, then I must use derived structures instead of basic structures. Okay. These are the purposes behind derived structure. Instead of using basic structure, I can use derived structure. Now see, here are some types, means how we can get derived structures. First one is here, and that is fronting. Okay, fronting is here. Next one is postponing, then cleft constructions, extrapositions, inversions, passive transformations, then existential construction, interrogation, negation and omission. These are the types of derived structures. Let's see one by one what exactly fronting means, what exactly postponing means. Let's see. See, this is the first process or first type we can say, that is fronting. By name itself you can understand. Fronting means to take it to the front. Front means to the beginning. For example, see, here they have explained like this. Fronting is a derived structure. As I earlier told you, these are the types of derived structures. So, fronting is a derived structure in which an object, complement or adverbial is moved to the beginning of the sentence. Means we are shifting some elements to the beginning of that sentence. Why we are doing this? If I want to focus that particular element, if I want to focus object, then I will shift this object to the front. If I want to focus complement, then I will shift it to the front. If I want to focus adverbial, again I will shift it to the front, or we can say beginning to that sentence. So to focus or to emphasize particular element of that sentence, I can use this type, that is fronting. Just see some examples. I hate gossiping. This is very basic structure. But if I want to focus this word, that is gossiping, then what I will do? I will just shift this element to the front. Then I will say that gossiping I hate. See, here in derived structure I have written here that gossiping I hate. What did I do here? I just changed the place of that element. Earlier it was at the end, but I shifted it to the front, and that's why this is fronting. For example, if I take the example that I eat mango, and now I want to focus mango, what I will say? You can write in comment box. Okay, mango I will eat. Okay, so whatever element I want to focus, I will shift it to the front or the beginning of that sentence. This is what the fronting is. If you know any example, you can write your example in the comment section. Next, see, this is the postponing, and this is totally opposite to the fronting. In fronting, what did we do? We shifted the last element to the first. And here in postponing, what we are going to do, we are also shifting, but we are shifting the element to the end of the sentence. Postpone, we postpone something, means what? We shift, we change the time, and that will be in after some time or in future we can say. And here what we are going to do, see, we just change the place of heavy or complex phrase, and where we change to the end of the sentence. We are changing the place of one element to the end of that sentence. For example, see, in this example, I have lent the only copy that has been rectified to Archit. Here one element is here. I have lent the only copy that has been rectified. Here is one element. Now it is at the middle of that sentence. But what I want to do, I want to postpone that element to the end of this sentence. And in this derived structure, what did I do? See, I have lent to Archit. See, and the whole phrase I just shifted to the end of this sentence. And I derived one structure, that is I have lent to Archit the only copy that has been rectified. This element I have shifted to the end of the sentence, and that's why this is postponing. Okay, in postponing, what we are going to do, we are going to shift one element to the end of that sentence. Okay, let's see next process, and that is cleft sentence. This is also very easy procedure actually. Cleft means what? We split that sentence into two parts. But while splitting this, what we used to do, we use it plus to be. To be means what? Forms of to be, like am, is, are, was, were, shall be, will be, like this. But why we are doing this? To give emphasis on special element. Means if I want to focus that particular element, then I will use it plus to be. See, here is one sentence. Chinmay ate the cake. It's normal sentence. It's basic sentence. But if I want to focus on Chinmay, then what I will do? I will use it as a subject. Then I will use to be forms. Am, is, are, was, were, or shall be, will be. It will be depend on the tense. Here it is past tense. That's why I used was. So it was Chinmay. Means here I focused Chinmay. It was Chinmay who ate the cake. Okay. But now see, if I want to focus on cake, then how I can do it? If you can, please write your answer in comment box. See, I will tell you here, but before that you just write your answer in comment box. If I want to focus on cake, what I will do? I will write first it. Okay. Then as it is past, I will use was. It was. Now, while I was focusing on Chinmay, I used that Chinmay first. But I want to focus now cake. So what I will do? It was cake. See, it was cake which Chinmay ate. Means what I did? That I focused on cake. Now cake is important for me. I focused on cake. It was cake which Chinmay ate. Okay. In this way you can get cleft sentences. And next one is extraposition. What is meant by extraposition? Extraposition is somehow like postponing, but here we are going to postpone subject clause, we can say. See, in extraposition constructions we postpone the subject clause. Means whole subject clause we are going to postpone to the end of that sentence. See, and one more thing is important. To the end of main clause we replace it with a dummy subject, and that is it. Means while we are postponing that subject clause, we need to write something there. So what we are going to write? It, and that will be dummy subject for the whole clause. Okay. For example, see, what you say to them doesn't matter. Here is subject clause. What you say to them doesn't matter. And what I will do here? I will postpone here, means at the end of that sentence, main clause. And I will replace this clause by it, and that it is dummy subject. So see, how did I write here? It doesn't matter what you say to them. Means what did I do? I postponed that subject clause to the end of that main clause. And now we got extraposition or derived structure by using extraposition. Okay, so that's all about today's lecture. Now we are also continuing these all derived structures in next lecture. So if you are new over here, please subscribe this channel, and if you want next lecture, then please type yes in comment box. Thank you.